Heavy support for GRN. I'm in. Let's do it. Here we are, Pack 1, Pick 1. I do want to mention my sponsor up there, Card Kingdom. They started sponsoring me this week. I am super appreciative of it. I think they're a fantastic organization, and they really take care of their customers. They give you the best prices on both ends, buy and sell. It's really tough to do. They make it hard for everybody else selling cards because their margins are so tight, and they pass that on to you. And they're a great place to visit, and you know you're supporting good people when you are supporting Card Kingdom. So I love having them as my sponsor. Here we are with Pack 1, Pick 1, and we got a Steam Vents for 20 gems, which I'm probably going to take here. There's not even anything in the, like Sinister Sabotage, Golgari Fine Broker are the cards that leap out at me if we weren't going to rare draft. And yeah, there's nothing else here that's even like, yeah, this is a good rare draft in that the opportunity cost is pretty low to take this 20 gems. We're not passing up on much. Vaporkin, I don't speak your crazy moon language. Bash, hello, Timnos. How goes? Bode? Hola. All right. Anyway, we'll grab the gems and then try to pay attention from here. We got 3 uncommons, so no news there. We got Hypothesizzle and Sunhome. This is worth remembering that we have this to support a splash too. We could do something like Hypothesizzle and not even necessarily be Is It. I think it's the best card here. I like it better than the Stalwart. Stalwart's fine, but also, you know me, I'm not, if I loved Boros more than anything in this format, I'd probably take the Stalwart here, but given my preferences, I'm going to sizzle it up. Oh, here, wait. Let me see. Did it turn off again? We should have had voting. Wait. Okay, it got turned off again. Now, there should be voting now. So let's get that going. Ooh, interesting. All right, we'll check the print run on... Oops. You just minimized. Get back here. All right. Print run. Oh, also, I might not need to check the print run because I finally got Carpe Diem's thing going, and it might just tell me. Let's use that. Yes. All right. So I want to. Would I say Sizzle is underrated? It depends on what you mean. By humans or by bots? I think most humans get what Hypothesizzle is about, but the bots seem to pass a little late. But then again, I don't know. I feel like it gets largely drafted correctly. I don't know. That's not one of the cards I think that bots are way off on. But I'm gonna take a quick moment because I owe Carpe a thanks. I don't think Carpe's here, or Carpe would probably be speaking up. But one of our regular viewers here made a tool that you can actually, if you, I think he posted. I got this from Discord. So if this is something you want to use for yourself. Hey, Wujo. Double D's. I uninstalled and reinstalled and then didn't hit the turn voting on. I don't know why. One piece of feedback I would give to Draft Assistant, or the Deckmaster dude, is to just default that to on. Like, who doesn't? Why would somebody not want the voting on? Like, you can ignore it if you don't want to see it. You can ignore it. I don't know. Anyway, like it's weird that was off. But I did want to go left screen for just a second to show you what I'm looking at here, and give a little plug to Carpe Diem for I believe Carpe is male, so I'm gonna say his work on this draft tracker. So I'll show you. I'm gonna hop to left screen and show you what I'm looking at. So I've got. This is this window, and what it really does for me is shows me in the pack how many copies of each of these do I own, and what's the possible missing uncommon. So we know City Watch Sphinx is gone. So this is great. So now I don't even need to go to the print run. I can just look at this, but we'll still bring up the print run link and everything. But I love that I got this tool working now. So thank you, Carpe. Yeah, it is nice to have. I'm glad I got it going. And if you want that for yourself, you can find that in the Discord. Right on. Yeah, I know Double D's. It's a leap. You have to tell it that you trust it. But I feel like my read on Carpe was good, and he hasn't taken over my computer yet. But I should acknowledge that I don't know the author of it, and it is it's the Wild West of computer files out there. So what are we doing here? Speaking of voting, everybody down with the Electromancer? Yeah, there's some support for the agent, and you know me, I love me the Dimir and the agent, but it's not so much better than, like, this just goes so well with what's going on here. This is obviously, to me, a better card than this, but it's not a better pick in the face of our first two picks. So we'll go ahead and snap up the Electromancer. Yeah, it's not the buyer beware. We need the Latin for let user beware, right? We could take the agent here, or basically, again, this is all setting up. We could not play the Electromancer and splash the Sizzle. We could take the Unicorn and go towards Boros, and that might be our missing uncommon here is likely Price of Fame. So. Yeah, we can be Dimir splashing red, absolutely. That's part of the reason I didn't mind taking the Seam Vents as a gem pick and Hypothesis as a great second pick. I'm not chicken on Is It. We can totally do Is It. It's just that this, there's nothing really Is It-y here. I'm just trying to figure out if I want the Plaza, or sorry, the Guild. I would take the Dimir Guildgate over the Plaza here, given where we're at. But if I'm going to do that, I should just take the Darkblade agent. And then I also have this question of, should I, because there's a price of Fame taken upstream. I got to listen to that. I should listen to that and not veer into black, given that we're getting a demonstrable signal from upstream that someone's taking black there. We could take a Unicorn on the, so yeah, I guess we're looking at Unicorn on the spec for Boros, or Guildgate on the spec for like a splash. People still want the agent. The that Price of Fame being taken upstream really makes me nervous. But maybe I shouldn't be. Maybe I don't want to go here yet. I'll take the agent, but we're probably not playing this in the same deck. So we'll see where we go from here. Now we got choice time. With another Electromancer, a gate that might wheel, or this Notion Rain. I guess we just take the Electromancer. Let's move in. Let's do this and try to be super Is It. I like it. Yeah, Unicorn is great if we end up Boros. I'm definitely playing to my biases here. I'm not. I don't like drafting. Even Boros is great. I lost to Boros yesterday. Like when I play this format, when I lose, it tends to be to Boros, Dimir, or sometimes Is It. But I like. This just seems too fun, and it's not like, me, I'm not about fun in the sense of, especially on the free-to-play account, what I want to do is make sure we're optimizing our gems, but I think this is a great start to a really cool and powerful Is It deck, so I want to take it. Capture Sphere is really at its, quote, best in Is It, but also, again, it's a non-bow in Is It because it is not an instant or sorcery, which is what Electromancers are working on. So I'm actually just going to take the Guildgate here and get our mana nice. The Crab is totally playable. Plaza sets up possible splashes, but we'll just take Krabby. Dazzling, sure. Doesn't get cheaper on the Electromancers or whatever, but we'll take it. Boy, at the start of the format, I would have Windmill Slam Muse Drake without thinking about it, but now I actually think the correct pick here is the Pass Wall. One Pass Wall is more important to the deck than one Muse Drake, so we'll take the pass wall, make sure we get our one of those. Book Devourer has actually performed decently for me in the past, surprisingly, and it has a funny sound effect. So, you know, sound effect value. Locksmith over Second Crab. Yeah, need 2s. I've never really done the Gravitic Punch thing in Is It, but I like its potential over the Maniacal Rage given our double Electromancer, so we'll take it. I'll put it in the main right now, but I don't expect it to stay there. This is great. Great to see this. Lebev. Mission Briefing. We're definitely going to slam that. It goes with what... I mean, it doesn't get cheaper from the Electromancers, but it's instant sorcery. It's for... Oh, we only have 2, so we're going to go and craft a couple. Do that now. And hopefully we'll wheel the Invent, or the Radical Idea. Radical Idea I don't like much, but with 2+ Electromancers, I start to like it a lot more. This is great when you're only paying a blue to do it. And when you're potentially triggering things like the, you know, the 4/3s that attack when you cast a instant or sorcery type deal. Let's take this and then go craft those up before I forget them. Ooh, Beast Whisperer. That's another... It's another 20 gems, and there's a lot of great cards for our pack, so we'll talk about that. How disciplined can we be here when I want this and this badly, and this is 20 gems versus sweet cards for our deck. But let's go start by crafting the Mission Briefing before I forget. It's kind of on the edge, I think, whether how much I should be investing wild cards into this technique on GRN, since the account is... It's got a lot of GRN, but it's not particularly, like, close to 4xing it on the rare mythic level. But I only needed to craft 2 there, and I think 2 is fine. And I think over time, over the next year, because they'll keep bringing guilds back, I'm sure. I think over the next year of ranked draft guild GRN... We'll get to 4x. So, Skywolf asks, are 20 gems really that much? In my head, I'm not doing it out of a sense of it's really important to me that I save this nickel or whatever. What's really important to me is understanding this economy and making EV correct decisions regardless of the stakes, right? If there's a nickel on the table and a dime on the table, and someone says, take one of the 2, take the dime, right? I mean, that's like, I know it doesn't matter much. You might be like, what? But, and how long are you planning to play Arena? Looks like they're going all in on this, and we're going to be playing Arena for years and years to come. If you take enough dimes off the table, in a few years from now, you'll look at that total, and you'll have saved literally hundreds of dollars on Arena, right? So, Sky, maybe I'm answering the wrong question. And Skywolf says, I mean for rare drafting rather than crafting. Am I not answering the question? Maybe I don't understand your question. Yeah, we only have we have 6 rare wild cards left. But also we're complete on the current set, so that's great. Like, if I hadn't split my accounts, we would have 4x of GRN on this account as well. Like, we have 4x on the other account. So I'm really trying to focus on this account moving forward so we can try to 4x every set through limited. That's kind of my new goal. Like, if I had to say what my goal for this account is now in this stream, really, it's like I want through limited and disciplined rare drafting, etc., to grind up to 4x rares and mythics of every Magic set that comes out while paying $0. If I can do it for 0, great. That's the goal. Maybe we have to pay at some point, but we're close. And so Sky is clarifying, well, I mean taking a rare for 20 gems instead of good cards for your for your deck, sounds like you might lose EV because you lower percentage of winning. I'm not sure. Oh, yeah. Well, Sky, I don't want to go too off on it too much because I went off on this twice yesterday, but the answer is the impact of a single uncommon or common on your draft is a minuscule win percentage movement that is definitely under 20 gems worth of value. It depends also on like your win rate and everything. You know, there's some factors, but it is very, very hard. You're not going to get 20 gems worth of value out of a single pick. We'll get back there. Hold on. I got a yammer. You know, there's some yammering on this stream, but here we are. So yes, back to that. The EV correct decision on gems is to take the Beast Whisper. I know that's crazy, but Hypothesis and Insight will not add 20 gems worth of value to our deck. That being said, we don't have to be absolute slaves to it. I love making awesome, sweet decks, and Insight is so nice with the Electromancer. I really want to try to work this combo. So again, this is also about where it's nickels and dimes, and also feeling like, you know, going optimal is not being a complete slave. It's being aware of the game you're playing and then making decisions within it. So given that, I'm going to take the Insight, knowing that that's a slight loss in gems for us, but worth it for what I'm trying to accomplish here. I don't think it is organic chicken. I think I don't think you realize how little impact an individual card actually has on your match win percentage. It's just so much lower than you think. I mean, what do you think it is? Like, give me a percentage, organic chicken. What is my single game? Let's forget match. What is my single game win percentage adjustment from having Chemist's Insight versus whatever I would play instead of it? I think your number will probably be higher than I would. At least we don't. Okay, where are people? A Capture Sphere? No, we're not taking Capture Sphere. I know that this is definitely a spell heavy deck, and so sometimes Bodyguard can underperform if you end up short on creatures. But Bodyguard is just so much better than Capture Sphere. We're slamming the Bodyguard. If we had enough Surveil, I'd be going this direction, but we don't. So take a Bodyguard. Here's a Sizzle for us to grab. I want this Cyclops. We want a bunch of these, but we're going to take Sizzle. We want Sizzles. We don't want Capture Spheres. We want Sizzles. We have Electromancers, you know. So we're going to try to get our removal through instants and sorceries. Sonic Assault or Sinister Sabotage. Are we aggro? Is it? Let's take a look at our curve here. Try to understand what we're doing. We do have some twos. We don't. This is not really going to go in the deck right now. I think by the end of the draft we'll want a Sonic Assault, but we might just want to start with a Sabotage as a generically good blue-red card. Sometimes, like, you can have Sonic Assault Flood too. This is kind of like one of those is it cards I don't want infinite of. I want maybe a couple of, as long as I'm aggro. So this is more generically good. We'll take it now. PM Barrett, I worked on Magic Online for 5 years. I don't need LSV's eternal numbers. In fact, I have data. You know, I've just seen that data. I can't do a graph on it, obviously, but no, I'm way down on Sphere. I almost never take Spheres. It's just not its removal. It is clunky. It enables sacrifice effects to get free value. There's a lot of bounce effects in the format that allow people to get their cards back, but it's 4 mana and it does not synergistically interact with anything Izzet or Dimir are doing. And they both have excellent removal spells, and if you just prioritize the excellent ones, you just don't need the spheres. But I'll play them if I you know, I just don't prioritize them. We'll take cover up here, of course. Another Electromancer to really power our cheap stuff. Take a Locket. But we'll take another Bargent. We need our creatures as well, especially if we're going to try to have a bodyguard do something. We did get our Invent back, and we'll grab that for sure. Mesmerist is fine in aggro, is it? Which is kind of where we're at. This is not fine in anything, but there's no uncommons here, so I'll take it. All right, yeah. Banana Jack says, you're totally on the right colors, and then boom. I mean, this is hybrid. Like, this is blue or red, and it still made it around. Whee! Throw that in board. Remember to always grab uncommons, unplayable. Grab, when there's nothing you're going to play, grab the uncommons. Makes a little extra vault progress. Sacred Foundry we only have 2 of, so if we wanted to take that for gems, we would go craft a couple of foundries. What would we be passing up for that? Bodyguard and Direct Current. You know what? Because actually Sacred Foundry is something this account wouldn't mind for constructed as well, and because I am going to be disciplined here. We were undisciplined to take the Insight, and I'm glad we did that. But I'm going to be disciplined here and take the Foundry. You mean in this pack or in general? Or like, no hate for the frog. I have a, hey frog, here you are 11th. Cool, get in the deck. You know, that's my level of love for the frog. I think you're wrong. Organic Chicken, I actually think you're wrong. This is not. I'm saying I think I plan on doing some math around this. No T-Town. Maybe check your note. You can follow people without being set up to be notified. I don't know if you normally get notifications from me, but if you normally do, I don't know what's going on. But if you never have, maybe there's a switch to flip. But I'll do the numbers later. But basically, I think so. If you heard, here's an example. So Luis mentioned talking about Eternal mentioned that the hugest gap he ever saw on a ridiculous mythic bomb, you know, that was probably a mistake for Eternal, was around 5%, and that's extreme. That's super extreme. Mostly it's tiny fractions of a percent nudge, or you know, one. Like a major card, like Disinformation Campaign, I could see being like 1.5%. You know, no, Chupa. Sorry, Chupa. I said Chupa, or Chicken. It's not even necessarily. It's like the thing is that the card can be such a high power level, but all these other things have to happen. You have to draw. You know, like. Organic Chicken. Oh, not talking about uncommons. I'm not sure what you mean by that. But anyway, we're gonna take this, and then I'm gonna go craft. I'm gonna go craft them. Try to do this quickly. Oops, quickly here. Hey, Queen. I think the reason I bring up rarity in the context of this rare drafting discussion is that we're talking the only things you would be taking over the rare mythic for rare drafting are uncommons and commons. So it specifically has to be an uncommon or common that is powerful enough to cause that kind of needle move. And those, although uncommons are getting more powerful around here, so that's true. We only have 2 chromatic lanterns as well. We could take that and craft it. What we'll be giving up? Electrostatic field is interesting here. Bodyguard. But I think we're in pack 3. We're so stacked. Another thing is, like, we're so stacked with playables. Like, we can take Gravitic Punch out, probably even the Book Devourer, and even maybe the Locksmith. But I like basically everything else. So we're at 18 playables at the beginning of pack 3. So we can also, that's another reason to afford to do it. So yeah, I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna be Gem Disciplined. I hit profile thinking that I'm going to somehow do that, but let's see, this is chromatic. Here we get Whisper, Gate, or like Sure Strike. Sure Strike might be interesting. We probably just need more creatures, though. I like it's blue 1 in this deck, which is not amazing, but it's a tight little creature that does a lot of good work. So, and we have some fixing, and we don't even look like we are splashing. Oh, really? Just I didn't know the craft cards. You can toggle the empty diamonds to craft multiples. Okay, I was just happy that you could sit there and do it on the same screen. That's not very discoverable, I gotta say. I kind of want the stroke, but I'm getting some extra 2s here to potentially... I think we're going to wheel the other bodyguard. Maybe not. It doesn't seem like bots are interested in red, so I have hope that we could. Yeah, we control is it or aggro? Is it? I think we're more aggro. At least I'm trying to lean that way. We have a Cyclops here, Agent, Bodyguard, but there's 2 Bargents and 3 Electromancers to make these really cheap. So I think we're really just trying to rush in. And so given that, yeah, let's take another Mesmerist. Here, we could take the Altitude, but I think we'd just rather have the Muse Drake. Sergeant and Bodyguard can mentor it, and I'm just not a fan of Altitude, and we'll wheel it. This is going to come back around, so we'll take this. Yeah, Electromancers stack. So if we had 3 Electromancers out, Hypothesizzle is 2 mana. Takedown says we might consider a splash, but we don't have anything to support that splash yet, so I'm just going to support our actual colors further with this Gate. And Dragonauts support our aggro plan. So does the Urchin. Maybe we'll wheel an Urchin, but this is a great sign here. Here's a stroke we can grab. Leapfrog or Cover-Up. This kind of... Now, Dimir, I'd be all over the Cover-Up. We have a Cover-Up that we might not even play here. I'm going to take the Leapfrog. And we have lights, but I want... We're focusing on... We decided we're more leaning aggro, so let's take the Mesmerist and go into that. I don't think we're playing a second Adept, but there's no uncommons. Yeah, Lantern supports the splash. Lantern will be staying in the board. I might consider playing Altitude, but I'm not taking it there. If it comes around, fine. But the problem, Vargan points out that Altitude plus Cyclops is usually 10 damage because you just get it through twice. But also that is the classic taking what I think Altitude is a bad card. It's a D, right? Like you have to build around it or whatever. And I don't like running Ds that when they combine with these couple of other cards become C plus B minus level, right? That's not how I want to do it. Although it looks like we missed it. I don't think it looks like it didn't get anything. Early on, it looked like Izzet stuff was wheeling like crazy, and then it dried up. But I think we ended up with a fine deck. We got 80 gems on the grind. That is no joke towards future free drafts. Okay, that one I haven't filled out yet. On the 17th here. I want to make a note of this stuff before I forget. Free to play ranked draft GRN. We are straight up blue-red, and we paid 5,000 gems, or gold, 0 gems, and we have ground for 80 thus far. I'm with you there, like, Vargan, if you can pile it up, like if you can get... if we had 3 Cyclops and some other combos with it, then I'd be much more inclined to want to play it. As it is, what are we going to do about this? Let's check our numbers. 16 creatures, only 9 non-creatures. That's surprising. I thought we got more instant sorcery action than that, but there you go. Maybe we can still like a Grivitic Punch. I might be up for trying this one. We got 2 sergeants and a bunch of electromancers. Let's see what like we can take a cover up out. I think I want to be less reactionary than that. Yeah, Bargent and Cyclops all do similar stuff with, do the same thing with Punch. So I like trying a Punch here. I've never really run this before, so I think it's the triple Electromancer and the aggressive nature of this that make me want to try it. Put in... I think we have every instant, like, unless we want to bring this back in. Really the only need to, like... besides getting value out of this is just to activate Cyclops. But we have, I think, 9 of those. Oh, let's check our invent. Sometimes you don't have the mix of instant and sorceries, but it looks like we have 2 instants, 1 sorcery, instant, 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 instant. Yeah, so that's a problem. Like, this is the only thing we can get with the invent side, but if we take it out, then we're lowering our instant and sorcery count even more. Invert is passable. I wouldn't call it good. It has moments where it's good, but its average case is a little less than good, I think. The whole card is fine, but if you're talking about would I just play an invert, I wouldn't be happy about it. It does get better with 3 Mesmerists. That's a very good point. And I do want to... like, do we have any... There's no sorcery we can find? That's too bad. I should have been paying a little more attention to that. Maybe we'd have the right sorcery action. We got a couple cuts to make anyway, though. Let's find our worst creatures. We could even, like, cut an Electromancer. We cut... No, we keep a Stroke. Keep all of this. Maybe the Crab or the Drake? Yeah, we do have the support for Invert. I'm agreeing on that front. We'll probably do some... We'll get somebody... We'll kill a creature with Invert before this event is over, if we don't just bust out immediately. There's the Book Devourer that could go in. So what do we cut then? If we like these... I think I cut a Muse Drake, though. It does... Although it does work with our... Maybe I cut the Agent. I was saying how I liked it as a nice creature that does a lot of little things that combine well, but it is oppressively costed for our deck, so I actually think I'm going to cut that. Maybe we don't even need Pass Wall. Yeah, I was thinking about, do we need 3 Electromancers, right? We don't really, so I'll cut one. I like that. I was trying to go all in on it, but then we didn't really get the other side of it, so that seems fair to me. And what are we calling this one? How about Sergeant Sizzle? Seems good. See what we can do. Let's update my numbers and whatnot. I'm sure all this is wrong. We'll go to Battlefield View and update stuff. Hope you're all well today. I'm feeling good. Life has been super busy, but kind of satisfying in that way, you know? No shortage of things to take off the pile and get done. Alright, looks good. I mean, it looks good for a hand that has 0 creatures. Uh-oh.
Some say I never heard of ya, a rap burglar.
What do we pitch here? Maybe we're pitching the Dazzling? Dazzling probably does low work here against Dimir. Drew, I would not focus on rare drafting unless you are trying to beat the gem game because that's fun to you, or because you are very budget conscious. If you're a budget conscious player, I'm trying to give you some tools to manage that. But in general, my number one advocation is that people pursue the magic that brings them the most joy within their budget. So as a new player, you would be much better off trying to draft for real and draft the best deck you possibly can. I get away with rare drafting better than a below average player because I'm making up for a lot of those percentages during the game and stuff. But yeah, and another factor that weighs heavily on what you should be doing there is how much in general you're drafting. Like this whole set, this RNA period has been a test for me to see, like, well, how close do we get to completing a set? Like, is my play cadence getting us to 4x? And, like, now I'm finding out, yeah, it is. So that changes the nature of how I'm going to rare draft in the next set, because if I'm assuming that... sorry, let me make a play here so Oppo does... Well, they've got counter up, and I really don't want to lose the Dragonaut. I'm going to go ahead and pass, and we leave up Stroke and Insight. And so anyway... For me, in the next set, for War of the Spark, I should basically be... I had a mindset this time through of like, well, we don't know where we're going to be, we don't have 4x, so I'm not going to rare draft here, we're just going to take whatever. And I only started rare drafting heavily towards the end when I was really comfortable and understood what our situation was going to be. But now that I understand that we're basically in a position to 4x a set through our regular play, that makes me want to rare draft from the get-go, because then we just fill up our 4x sooner and we start grinding gems. We get the results of that and start actually getting the gems in our account sooner. So even though, you know, you're going to rare draft and not see any gems from it on day one, you are setting yourselves up to get value for it later. So likely to be countered, hopefully not by the 4 mana, the cover up, because then it gets exiled. I don't want it exiled, but if they want to sabotage it, we'll get it back. All right. Even better. Even better. Dragonauts leave up stroke. Well, they chose not to counter the insight, but are thinking maybe of countering this. Okay. I hope now alright. Wow, I would have snapped off that insight. But happy to stroke it and land the Dragonauts. We got a Sizzle for that one. Ooh, even better. We just have a Bargent for that one. I'm okay with, let's see, we drop this, we play the Bargent. Dragonauts becomes a 2/4 that the bats can't kill. The bats block the Bargent, and that's a fine trade. Our 5 for their 4, and we increase the size of our Dragonauts. So that's one path. There's not really a 2-spell path that we like here. We could mission brief. No, that doesn't make sense. Yeah, we're gonna Bargent. Just making sure. Tyro69 says, hey, I found you from the LR podcast. As a free-to-play Mythic player, I love the idea. Good luck with the run. Thank you. Glad you're here. All right, Mesmerist gives us 2-spell potential with Chemister's Insight if we wanted to pitch, like, mission briefing. We could also just Mesmerist Bodyguard here. Kind of like that. Let's dump our creatures, and then we have next turn to decide what to do with all these spells. Yeah, I assume the Necrolist is going to eat the rat, but then the Necrolist is going to eat the Hypothesizzle afterwards. Hey Tyro, do you track your win-loss record? Do you know what your win percentage is? I'm curious what free-to-play Mythic players are doing on a win percentage level. Like, I like that Deathsea tracks his win-loss, so I see what my gap is. You know, I mean, I feel like I'm a pretty good Magic player, but that I'm 6 percentage points behind the best is just there's so much room for improvement. So many places for me to up my game. Yeah, we're not going to block that. Dragonauts, I think, are just like the soldier names for like Niv Mizzet's loyal fairy wizard army, you know? It's like being called a, brigadier or whatever. Brigadier, it's just it's your military title. And so now we have a Muse Drake that we've drawn here. What have they got? They've not put anything up in the air. With the Sizzle and the Mesmerist, I think we just attack and see how they want to block. And we shrink. What do we shrink? We shrink either the crab or the agent. I guess we shrink the crab so that if they want to put... Yeah, I guess we shrink the crab. We're going to send in, though. We could shrink the rat. Maybe we want to shrink the rat. No, because we'll just put the we will mentor the mesmerist so that it can't just be eaten by the rat, and then Oppo has no good blocks. I mean, they have a block to prevent some damage, but nothing that. Yeah, perfect. I was hoping they would try something like this, and now we can sizzle our way to a blowout. That doesn't matter because we're going to sizzle the other. We'll pitch Electromancer. That doesn't seem super useful here. Deciding I think I'll hold this for the insight, although no, we need more blue. I'm gonna get more mana. We'll find more land to pitch to the insight eventually, and if we don't, sweet. It means we're drawing nothing but gasoline, so either we'll find something we want to pitch or we won't need the insight. So, Tyro, how did you approach deck building to be a free-to-play constructed mythic? Did you go for mono blue or mono red, something competitive but low on the requirements, or did you like build something like that and then do a bunch of gold grinding? Because, you know, a constructed player can grind the gold queues if they're good enough and just make a profit that way. Almost played that when that's exactly what I was talking about. Drawing to pitch to that. We have 7. I'm going to go ahead and start with the Muse Drake and see what we draw. Yeah, that makes sense, Tyro. Like, you got, if a free-to-play constructed player needs to prepare for the next set, or you're going to fall behind immediately, right? As a free-to-play limited player, I'm just trying to prepare for the next set by having gem resources to enter the events. And we'll go... We can do this. Play the island, then we can pitch the gate to the insight. And are we attacking? Let's see, they can punt twice here, so this is a threatening to be a 4/4. I guess we're only attacking with the Dragonauts right now. Oh, we can shrink it. If we shrink it, then they have a good block here. So yeah, I'm just going to attack with the Dragonauts. But we will trigger it with the insight here. Oh yeah, like we didn't wheel one of those dumb jumpstart draw card spells that I would have loved to have run with the Electromancers we have. Thanks for sharing your free-to-play experiences, Tyro and Hexstar. Always looking for other people's take on the part of the elephant they're touching. You know what I mean? If you don't, there's a fable about trying to understand something that you only can sense one part of, you know? So you combine your knowledge with others to get a better picture. Interesting, Tyro. I don't hear a lot of stories of kind of the packs and cards guiding someone into competitive constructed via mono green, but that's cool to hear. I'm actually glad to hear that it's not just all people being seduced by the power of mono blue and mono red, which are the kind of obvious budget choices. Of course, in Arena, budget means how many rares and mythics does the deck actually use? All right, I think a Sizzle is going to be pretty good for us here. We have 9 total mana. If we play the Electromancer, we go to 7, and then this costs 4. And then we have 3 left over. Doesn't really matter to us on that front. Just trying to decide. Well, actually, what's in here? Because if we have 4 left over, like actually it does matter because we can set this up with 9. If we go 5 on the Sizzle, then we have Mission Briefing into Disdainful Stroke, which is a protection of our board state that I really like. So I'm not going to play the Electromancer. We're going to keep up Mission Briefing and Disdainful Stroke. Yeah, that means we can pitch the Electromancer to the Sizzle. And now we also have kind of that good spot of of Sizzle in response to double blocks. So I'm going to... maybe we attack... yeah, I'm going to attack with everything. Oh, it does make... yeah, that's true. But I do need something to pitch, so I'm gonna follow through anyway because we need something. We may need something to pitch the Electromancer, and we can probably do it like, gosh, if they do something, we might be able to just win here off of. Yeah, I'm talking and talking, but this, like, we really can just win off of the Dragonauts here, and it's not that I'm just overthinking it. Unless they have a stroke. Okay. 4 creatures, what can we do? Anything to save that? We have Sinister Sabotage, so what we should do is Sizzle and see if we can find the Sabotage in our Sizzle. Well, we can't stroke the Necrotic Wound, right? So I will pitch this. And we'll at least get rid of... Shade or Necrolisk? Shade. I should have made... we didn't have anything we could do about that, right? If we had Dazzling... Dazzling wouldn't have done anything, right? Yeah, okay. There was nothing... just making sure I didn't miss something that we could have briefed. Necro is sorcery. Yeah, they did a good job on that one. We could shrink the Crab to keep the Mesmerist alive, or shrink the Necrolist to keep the Bodyguard alive. I like that. Let's do that. And we get to see the future. Gravitic Punch is going to win us the game, and Pass Wall will if that doesn't, so I like that. They could have counters to disrupt our plan here. There's the punch. Why don't we wait a turn, though? Let's send in the Drake, cast our creatures, and then next turn have Pass Wall and Punch, which I think should get us the win. I don't want to suicide the Bodyguard in right now, do I? And if we do that, that's not suicide. It would be trade for the Centipede. Child of Night gets a counter on it and sends the life back the other direction, so we're not going to attack with the Bodyguard. We'll just get in a hit with the Drake. Yeah, the lack of 2 blue makes our ability to get to fire this off work. So maybe we can do that. Let's see if we just do, yeah, so we can just, they can't counter it, so we just win, right? Let's just do that. I was being a little nervous about counter magic, but we should just be able to win from here, so let's try that. See if they respond at all. Well, let's make them have it. And if they do have stroke, we can still play both cards in our hand. Interesting. Do we go for it? What was that pause? And maybe they're just intending to... Well, if they have the stroke, they're going to counter this anyway, right? So, okay. Let's just let them do that. Or, well, No, I'm going to play the Cyclops. I'm going to play out our hand here. Yeah, Chemisters is giving him... maybe I should have just gone for it then. I was being paranoid about that, but... So maybe, yeah, maybe I've given him now maybe I've just given him a chance to actually draw the counter for the punch. But we also have, this sets us up with a pretty nice board. And the thing with the Piston Fist is that it's a cast trigger, so even if they did find something to counter this punch, the Cyclops would be active. But hopefully we didn't just cost ourselves this game because of being super careful about that punch there. Yeah, I'm not sure in the infinite possibilities of Magic which line is better for our EV, going for the win there or being patient. But it was one of those spots where it felt like it was the 99.3 versus 99.31 type percent or whatever. Maybe not that close, but I'm just saying it's close. All right, nice starting off with a win. 1 to the good. Right back in it. Dropping cuts. Quick shout out to my new sponsor, Card Kingdom. Thank you so much, Card Kingdom, for supporting my efforts here. We are going to keep this. Red, you say? Don't think we're going to be needing to do anything cheaply here. Mesmerist has an easier time attacking into stuff, so I'm going to start with the Mesmerist because it is more likely to be able to attack on turn 3 than the Electromancer, and we don't have anything we're trying to make cheap right now with the Electromancer. And here we'll attack first, but our choice is Island for the Cyclops or Gate to get that down and play one of these two. I'm going to go ahead and Cyclops because maybe we will find something to get that going on the attack. Not here, it looks like. So what are we doing? We can do Guildgate, Electromancer, Hold Up, Stroke. And we get a free attack here. I don't think they're going to block. Maybe they will. See if they have the guts. They have the guts. I wouldn't. I'm not going to risk my Dragonauts over 2. Maybe I'll put it over my... Alright. And yeah, then we get a sneaky stroke ready. And we will absolutely stroke that one. Nice stroke right there. No, nothing to activate here, but nothing to do. Like, I could activate the pass wall to get in 2, but that's kind of just what we get anyway, and it's better to keep the mana up and pretend like we have a counter or something like that. It's not likely to affect their decisions, but it might. So we'll throw on the control. Well, actually, if it were a counter... Well, actually, no, we don't need to throw on full control anymore because of the pass wall. I think. They might have it so that it doesn't stop at all times for this. Let's see. I'm actually curious if it stops because we have pass wall. And it doesn't look like it does. But it should. Anytime something goes on the stack, they should turn on all of your instant abilities. So I feel like if they cast something, it should stop on our behalf as though we have a counterspell in this spot. So let's see if it does. Let's verify my understanding of this interface. Well, first they have to cast something. But maybe it's working. Maybe they don't want to. Well, now they've got me worried about their possible counterspells. Yeah, it seems pretty obvious, but I also don't, Sergeant's not like the most valuable thing. I'm kind of yeah, let's make him, sure. You can have this. You can have the Bargent if you got the counters. Looks like the pause means cover up, like they're choosing their cards in their library right now, or in the graveyard. No. It lives. What is going on over there, Oppo? They must have, like, Sizzle. They got something. So let's assume they have Sizzle. This could be a 1-3 after all is said and done. But I like attacking with the Mesmerist and Bargent. Yeah, they could have Dazzling. That could be annoying. Dazzling could be bad. Makes me really nervous here. I'm not sure. Okay, so worst case scenario, if they have Dazzling or removal, the effort to mentor fails. We have a 1-2 and a 2-1 attacking into a 1-3. And Oppo gets to eat the Mesmerist. And that's not the worst. I'm just making sure that, yeah, Justin, I think that's the line, but I'm following it through to make sure that it's not a disaster if they have the kind of tricks that they might have available. But it looks like their best line in case of a single spell here is just the Dragonauts eating the Mesmerist. So we'll give it a try. Yeah, the thing with the removal, like, it's funny that Dazzling was actually the bigger problem, or the bigger thing to work through than just a plain old removal spell, because the Dazzling created a situation where the Mentor wouldn't work, which is also, of course, why Tyro didn't, was like, well, they could have command, but they would do that pre-combat to avoid exactly what just happened, which is the Mesmerist still got the counter. So they decided that was worth it, I guess, and we are going to decide to make unblockable dudes till we win. That's the new plan. Yeah, that's also possible. Magic has some weird rules on that type of front in terms of when you remove the source of an effect that still looks back at the source of the effect to decide how it resolves. It's all, yeah. It's a very confusing section of the Magic code. Rules. Good old pass wall. At the end game, it starts eating premium removal. Too much land. Well, I'm gonna... Let's see. The Cyclops going to a 2-3 still allows a trade, but I don't know what else to do other than offer it and then try to set up so that when we get an instant or sorcery, the Cyclops doesn't have any blockers. Gonna keep playing land because we do have card draw. Sizzle would be good. Some card draw and some removal, provided we don't sizzle into 2 more lands. Oppo has all the commands. That's a big smack. Oh, come on, deck. Just give me a little action and we got this. Just a little action. Smidge? Not like this deck. Come on. Oh, Magic. What we put up with to enjoy you. Jeez. All right. Happens to everybody. We're not going to let it do anything to us, but give us a little momentary head shake, face palm, move on. A little early to have the punch, but I like the 1-2 punch here. Yeah, we definitely had some outs to snatch it right back, but I think Oppo was playing it the way they had to, which was, we're on the ropes, I just got to move all in and hope that it's enough. But they took us from 17 to 0 in 2 turns off of, as we sat there and stared at our land flood. Got the Mesmerist attacking. Again, Mesmerist can mostly attack into stuff. Is there any 2-drop that Mesmerist can't attack into? I wonder. There's ones that bounce, you know, like you could make the Wall of Mist or whatever, but there's nothing, is there a 3-powered 2-drop that punishes the Mesmerist? I don't think so. We don't like the bonds, but at least we got a crab to follow, and we can still attack with our Mesmerist. Crawl Harpooner, there you go. Crawl Harpooner can trade with a Mesmerist. Yep, 2-1 ping also deals with a Mesmerist. There you go. I love it. 2 2-drops that can block a Mesmerist. Now I'm going to just play our 2 creatures and sit back. try to set up effective attacks coming up. Ooh, that's grossly bomby. We're gonna have to start racing that. Which I think we have some tools to do here. Use Drake, you say. If we punch, we get to attack with Cyclops, Crab, Mesmerist, and Adept. And we shrink the shield mate. And one of the lifelinkers trades off with the Mesmerist. And then everything else gets through for a smack of 7. They gain 1 life to only take 6 and go to 10. But then also the Gravitic Punch will have done 4 more, so they're at 6. That seems good. And then we have the punch ready for the next turn. Let's apply some pressure. Just making sure that losing the Mesmerist was worth this attack, and I think that it is. Shieldmate, I guess, just gets to block the pass wall, which is not amazing, but... So I guess we don't get him... I was talking about getting him to 6 or whatever, but they have a free block on the pass wall at least, so they don't get... Oh, they took it anyway. Okay. They're at a virtual 5, virtual 3, I would say, because they can get some life out of this. Maybe at a virtual 4 if they save the Dawn of Hope to make a creature, but that seems like a losing long-term play. They can't afford to spend that much mana for such a minor impact on the board. I'm hoping this is about how much trouble they're in. Okay, that's interesting. But while it gets them to 8, really... sets them up to take a lot, too. If we punch, we cannot Adept. If we... punch, they're going to chump with the Shieldmate this time. I think because we can't win here, but maybe it's worth it for the damage. It's just we can only attack with the Cyclops when the punches, when we activate it, and if we punch now, Cyclops gets chumped. But maybe that's just what has to happen. Punch makes Piston unblockable. Why does it make it unblockable? Oh, punch mate. I see what you're saying. No, yeah, we don't have enough mana for that. But we might next turn. So, I'm trying to decide if I want to even play the mountain. I think I'm going to Muse Drake here. And I need to make a call here. And I'm going to hold the mountain for potential pitching to Gravitic Punch. But I like that we have Briefing, because that gives us many triggers of the Piston Fist. So, no attacks, hang back. keep the land in case we need to pitch it, and briefing exiles it afterwards, right? So there's no real difference other than it. Yeah, there's no need to brief the punch because the punch already does that. The reason to do it would be that we trigger Piston Fist twice, but that doesn't do anything, so never mind about that. If we had the Wee Dragonauts, getting off 2 spells could matter. Alright, great. Dazzling. We can do Dazzling and Gravitic here. And if we dazzle... How can we win here? Let's see, we attack with the... I want to make something... Would like to get to the point where we have stuff that's unblockable. We can get them with the dazzle so that they don't get lifelink, or... we can also just... What if we go dazzle, make Cyclops unblockable? Oh no. Let's go... I'm gonna do this now. Come on. Oh, it's not letting me do it. Damn it. I guess we're gonna hold tight this turn. Sorry, folks. I thought I would be able to click through the UI fast enough, but I wasn't. That kind of stinks. I haven't really done that in a while. Clocked myself to have my turn passed on me, but Gravitic Punch has a complicated UI. Especially when doing the jumpstart side of it. Yeah, I guess we just don't do anything. Too bad. Argent, you say? Well, they're not attacking us. That lifelink is going to start being a problem. I'm going to start playing lands because we're going to need to pass wall our way through here, I think. And in fact, I kind of want to start doing that, maybe. This dumb Piston Fist. Are we... No, I think I'm just going to send in the Drake right now. And I'm actually going to play the Bargent post-combat. And then we have Dazzling up. And Bargent doesn't have this clause, so we can start pass-walling it. That's what I'm thinking here. 4, 5, 6. So if we get 7... Yeah, if we get 7, we get... if we get an untapped land, we get Activate Pass Wall, Attack for 5, and then Gravitic Punch for another 4. So we're looking at 9. And if Oppo attempts to gain a bunch of life with an attack this turn, we can Dazzle to reduce some of the lifelink. But I think they're probably going to stay back on D. And if we draw a land, we can go for the winning play and see if it works. Oh, I can double pass wall for 7 too. Let's see, where's our other... How do we double... because we Bargent and Coin. Yeah, I guess we can do that. Then we don't even need to... we don't... Oh yeah, because we can do this. This is for 6, and then we go like this, 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 like that. Yeah, I guess I've set myself up to potentially lose to get hit by a Righteous Blow here, but I think we're good. looking like a GG. And I'm going to throw this on the Drake. They do have the Righteous Blow. Nice call, Stratic. We're still in a solid spot, but that stinks. Still in a decent spot. They got to take out the pass wall. I think we just win the long game here. I like Stratic's line, though. That was good. A good call to consider the handful of cards that could punish us and find a line that circumvents them. So, nice call, Stratic. Should be able to get him next turn. Hopefully we're not punished by that, but I love that there was a superior line that would have protected against that result. I think Oppo is going to do Desperation Lifelink attackers here. I would. I mean, they're staring at death through the pass wall. That's also interesting. I don't know why you wouldn't go for the pass wall there, but okay. Dead to Wave. Yeah, Wave would be bad. Looks like they didn't have it. Ah, I see. We're let's see. We go. If we dazzle the Sergeant. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then we block here and live. And then they gain... They're going to gain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and go to 8. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so we got it. They get... Maybe they find a card right here that... Oh, we don't get a clean attack back through. Well, maybe we... Let's see. No, we still... I think we get it. We get 7. We got attack here, unblock here, and punch here. And then we're at... Ooh, we're actually not there. Never mind. We are not there, folks. We might have lost this one. Man, you telling me we... Stratic wins this game, but we don't, apparently. Let's see. Let's find it. Maybe there's a thing we can do still. Drew a land, we win. How are we doing this? Okay. You say we win. Let's see, because we go... What? 2? These can block, so these go unblockable. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe I played this all wrong. So let's go mission briefing then. I think we need to mission brief and see what happens. And that does nothing. Yeah, we just don't have it, folks. Darn it. Couple of miscues here are costing me a win. And well played, Colton Rivers. Good job. I think they just get it on the attack all. So I'm going to scoop this one up. Darn. this is where I'm, you know, I always talk about, like, I'm a 60% winner, but there's this huge gap between me and the best of the best, and it's like that. It's those turns, those decisions. Game of inches. Game of inches. Ouch. Yeah, we just needed Oppo to be at 7, and then we had the win, and we let him be at 8. It's also one of those spots where the arena timer does get to me. You know, I just was forced into making a decision before I had really thought it all through. If that were on Magic Online, I would have tanked for another minute and really just made sure I had thought through all the angles. You just don't get that on Arena, and it's part of the nature of this Magic experience that's just part of it, you know? All right, no problem. This just sets up the amazing 2-loss comeback where we rack it up to 5 wins before this one finishes. I like the deck. Deck is fine. Keep this. Drew, I'm now too far away to even be able to assess what turn and moment you're talking about, but suffice it to say, I think there were multiple turns there where a slightly different play would have been a win. For one thing, just going for the Gravitic Punch win when we had it would have ended the game. There are major problems with Chess Clock that kind of made it a non-starter for us. Oh my god. Never mind, we lose. Like, what? We're just toast. Well, this helps somewhat, but not really. I guess we just gotta try and race. Our only hope is a strong race. This is just one of the best 1-2 starts a Dimir deck can hope for. Now we'll get Disinformation Campaign and I'll go cry. Actually, if they had Disinfo, they would have done that last turn. That would have been even better. Nah, we're gonna. I'm being all sour grapes and lose, but we're gonna figure out how to come back in this one. We got a race that's reasonable. Dragonauts plus mission briefing plus insight give us a lot of power up top. Sergeant to jump in and surprise them. We can play the gate and the Dragonauts next turn, so we even have our next turn lined up. So my plan A is still to win this one. But yes, plan B, new draft. New draft and a sad 1-3 if we lose this. Let us know how it goes, Stratix. Stratix bringing up advice on how to make Golgari work in this format. I still think I wouldn't want to just, like, start there or whatever. That's too bad. Oh, no, we get the Mesmerist, we get the Mentor, so this is actually fine for us. We're worried about Dazzling, but it doesn't... It's not going to... Yeah, Dazzling would allow Leapfrog to trade with Mesmerist, and that's not too bad, so we'll just go for it. I was going to lead with the Dragonauts and see if there was a pause, but I don't even care if they have the Dazzling here. It just allows Leapfrog to trade with one of these two creatures if they want. And they didn't have it. So maybe our race plan has some merit here. We have Barging Sergeant next turn. If we draw a land, then we have Sergeant into Insight Briefing. If we draw specifically an island, I guess. Yeah, barging's going to be great, especially if they go for the race here and come at us. I mean, this is a big smack here. That's not what I wanted to do. I could do that, but we need the Dragonauts to try and get lethal-ish. I'm not even sure we can attack with the Dragonauts next turn. We need to, like, find a flyer and block the spy bug. This race plan is suddenly not looking great, and I'm trying to decide if we need to just trade with the frog here. If we trade with the frog, then what happens? We untap and play a Bargent, and they block and take 4 and go to 8, and then they untap and have a 6/7 in the air to just kill us. Like, I think we're just dead. So yeah, we can't trade, but we're kind of Dobbs up there anyway. I don't know. I think we're super dead. Like, need to insight into a dazzling to shrink the spy bug dead. Sorry. I should be at 6. Yeah, I intended to block the sprite. It doesn't really matter. Like, either this connects with us or it doesn't. But yes, I got distracted by the debate and then forgot to make the block that I did have. But I don't think it matters here, unfortunately. It's more loose play on my part, but not that's going to be game affecting, because we just can't stop the spy bug straight up. So what we need to do is insight on their turn and find dazzling. That's our only chance. No dazzling and no dazzle. We are freaking doomed. That's rough. And this is, you know, think of what this means in terms of gem value as well. Like, I win that. If I play tighter and win the previous game, we're still playing this event, and every win gets us 100+ more gems. So, like, one little mistake was like a several hundred gem EV mistake. Punished for not forcing Dimir. Always punished for not forcing Dimir. But yeah, there's nothing to be done here. Good night, sweet deck. $100 gems. Lame. Weak. Two packs, the value. Hey, we got our mythic. That's not bad.